If there's one series out there that I can without a doubt say means a lot to me, it's Pokemon. From playing the card game and watching the anime as a child, to playing the games nowadays as an adult, this franchise has had one of the biggest impacts on me and has in some ways shaped my taste in media. So when Pokemon Scarlet and Violet were announced, I was stoked. An open world Pokemon game, an idea straight out of my and many other Pokefans' dreams. Sign me up. And they for the most part lived up to my hype. Now, yes, the amount of bugs the games launched with were atrocious, but I personally was able to look past all the performance issues and enjoy the open-ended experience the game was able to provide. Though, I can agree some improvements could be made, and I think future installments could learn a thing or two about how to implement said improvements. That's what I'm going to talk about in this video, what I want to see for the future of Pokemon. Before I get into my thoughts, I'm going to open with a big disclaimer. I'm not going to be suggesting things like Game Freak should take a couple years off, or they should let these games breathe, because realistically, it's not going to happen. Scarlet and Violet sold 10 million units in its first 3 days on sale, which is Nintendo's biggest launch ever. If the Pokemon Company knows they can get away with releasing a game with as many bugs as Scarlet and Violet and still make as much money as they did, there's no way they're changing their business model anytime soon, no matter how much I nor anyone else want it. Secondly, I'm not going to talk about the National Dex. There are many videos on the internet talking about the National Dex, and while I also don't think there's anything to add to those, I honestly don't really care how many Pokemon there are at present. As long as the overall game is fun, it doesn't really matter to me. Like, I wanted Absol in Scarlet and Violet, and the fact that it's not in the game doesn't make my interest in Scarlet and Violet any less. It's still as much fun as it would have been even if it was in the game. So just another quick disclaimer, this is Jay from the future, not looking at a script here. I'm not going to be including any Pokemon footage from Scarlet and Violet that would be spoilers. So anything Scarlet and Violet related will be from trailers and not my own gameplay footage. So yeah, don't worry about spoilers if you haven't played the games yet. Anyway, hope you enjoy the video. With that out of the way, let's talk about what I actually do want to see next. And to do that, I'll need to talk about one of my least favorite aspects of Scarlet and Violet, the battles. And no, I don't mean the ever-changing gimmicks, nor do I mean bring back the underrated Mega Evolution gimmick from Gen 6. I'm referring to the actual way battles are set up in recent Pokemon games. From the AI to team compositions to how competitively viable they all are. If I were to give some examples, in Scarlet and Violet, only 2 trainers use an item of any kind. None of the trainers withdraw their Pokemon, and none of the strategies are really that difficult if you're not massively underleveled. Just use super effective moves and you're fine. Let's put this in contrast with Pokemon's previous release with Gym Challenge, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl. Those games were, for the most part, the same when it came to battles, if not maybe a bit easier, since you had less control over when you leveled up or when you battled, except for the Elite Four and Champion. The Pokemon themselves are the exact same as their Diamond and Pearl teams, but now, each Pokemon is built from competitive with perfect IVs, ideal EV spreads, and a good item to help them out in battle. This would be fine as a final battle if the other battles in the game included these mechanics and slowly made them more intricate and challenging. Now you may be thinking to yourself, but if they did that, then it wouldn't be easy for kids. Now in response, I say that giving the kids the tools they need to fight a final boss like Cynthia and BDSP throughout the game is much easier than just throwing it at you without any prior warning. So under the assumption that my ideal next step is improving battles so they're not too simplistic and not too challenging, what kind of game do I want? Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. It's a battle sim. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Okay, fine. So, I get the criticism with making one of these. Why make something that was made to bring the sprite-based Pokemon battles to life during an era when Pokemon battles are already in 3D? The reason? To help Game Freak, or any future developer, work on and fine-tune their battling system to allow for better animations and more intricate strategies and complex AI. Really, you could go one of 2 ways with this idea. The first one is make it like Pokemon Stadium, a game with a main focus on battles, but also containing other modes like fun mini-games, or maybe an emulator for one of the classic Pokemon games. The other way would be like Pokemon Battle Revolution, a rather bare-bones game that focuses solely on battles. Knowing how modern Pokemon operates, I'd rather go with the latter. This would allow the team working on said game to focus solely on a battle system rather than shipping out an afterthought of a minigame section and an almost complete battle system. Things such as new Pokemon, old battle gimmicks, and old Pokemon not featured in either Sword and Shields or Scarlet and Violet's dexes could also be included, allowing for greater accessibility to a wider audience. Add in the potential of Pokemon Home connectivity, and you have a game with many Pokemon and many different ways to battle that Game Freak and the Pokemon Company could implement to test out. Now I hear you asking, why would Game Freak make a game just to test mechanics for a future one? That's dumb. Well, no, not really. I encourage you to look at older Pokemon games for a moment. Remember the totem Pokemon and Trials from Sun and Moon? Those ideas are still around today in the gym challenges and Titan Pokemon, just with a few tweaks and changes. That's not the only thing though. Look at the wild area in Sword and Shield, or the entire map of Legends Arceus. They look awfully similar to the open world in Scarlet and Violet, don't they? Game Freak using games to build upon ideas for future Pokemon games is nothing new, though the catching mechanic from Legends Arceus bizarrely didn't return. Yeah, that is strange. No, stop that. We're not going there right now. Where was I? Right, Game Freak using titles to develop features has been done in the past, so a battle sim to develop trainer AI and rethink how battles should be wouldn't be new for them. It's something I think needs to be done, and a game with a main focus on them rather than exploration or traversal, which they've already figured out, albeit with bugs, but that's beside the point, would allow them to refine an important aspect to the franchise to many. That's not to say there's nothing good about the battles in Scarlet and Violet though. The fact that all trainer battles in Scarlet and Violet are up to the player's discretion was a huge improvement the series needed for a long time. Like, seriously, having to finagle your way around trainers to avoid fights was annoying. Especially when your team was weak, though that is a specific situation, and being blocked from getting to a Pokemon Center because a trainer wanted to battle you really bogged down my experience with earlier games. Being able to battle any trainer you want, at any time you want, allowed for much more freedom, as well as a more unique journey for the player. Terastallizing to change your type is also a cool idea. It added a new layer of strategy I hadn't seen in a Pokemon game before, and it was very welcome. It changed how I approach team building, and I kind of hope, though I know it won't, it stays for a while longer. I just think that more can be done to teach the player about all the mechanics in the games, and not as much is done in the mainline series to do that. I think a battle sim game would allow the Pokemon Company, and whoever develops it, to make a game that can teach Pokemon fans new and old the more intricate mechanics of Pokemon, making it a more challenging and rewarding experience, while also figuring out how to program their AI so they're not as simple-minded as they were in the current Gen 9 games. But what do you think? Comment down below and let me know what you'd like to see next for Pokemon. I'd love to read your comments. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to stay notified on when I make more videos. Though I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have a set schedule for these. This channel will mainly be used for topics I'd like to discuss, but can't really do so on my podcast. The Anime Protagonist podcast, where I and my friends, Cole and Mike, talk about gaming, anime, manga, and things like that. If that's what you're interested in, all links to that will be in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. My name's Jay, I like anime and video games, and I'll see you around. Hey, so this is Jay, after doing this video. I'm gonna be really honest, this was so much fun to make, writing the script, editing it, everything, recording as I'm doing right now. This was so much fun to do, and if you want to see more of this, let me know, because I'm honestly curious. I do have a couple of ideas that I want to make videos for, but I'm honestly not sure if I should just not do them or just make them and see what happens. Another video I want to make, I guess without spoiling too much, but I mean, let's be fair, is the beginning after the end. I kind of want to do a video on why I like the series so much, but I don't really know how many people are into that. So if you want to see something like that, please show me, because I really don't know. But yeah, I have a ton of other ideas that I want to do that I think would be interesting, but we'll have to see. But if not, then please go check out the Anime Protagonist podcast, because I will be working on that as well. And yeah, anyway, see you guys later.